So the last time we hooked up was back in January, I believe January of 2024. So what's been going on? How's everything been going for you since it's been, almost a year and a half now? How's everything going?
Oh, it's going really well. Like family, friend life, physical life, mental, spiritual life is pretty much firing all cylinders, which is fantastic. In terms of business, I just launched this new dating AI powered app. So that's
Okay.
kind of why I'm restarting like the podcast store and just kind of getting
Yeah.
the word about that. So yeah, things are going well.
So let's talk about it. Let's get into the new app. How did this come about? How long have you been developing it?
So in development, it's been a little over 2 years, but it's been live for a little over 2 months, just because like you have to develop the code and make it actually work and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It came about because I was on a podcast tour a while back. Well, you're probably included in that, but like
Yeah.
I kept in touch with other podcast hosts. We became friends. We're like, oh, it was a chill conversation. We started following each other on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then he sent me this like AI looking avatar thing. And that was the base for, I'm like, oh, what's this? He's like, oh, it's Cupid AI. I'm thinking of building it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty funny. There's a clear need for an AI matchmaker in the dating app market because it sucks.
Yeah.
I'm super down to help out with that. And then we've just been building it ever since.
So that's the thing I hear all the time with dating apps is that there's so many peccadillos that go into it. And like with any level of app or software development, it can always be improved. And this clearly is probably a part of improving this process. What are you doing? What have you taken from all of these existing platforms to revise and help kind of AI infuse a new dating app?
Yeah, so it's honestly, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, we did our competitive research. We downloaded like pretty much all the apps, played around, like, oh, this is the best feature they have, this is the worst feature they have. It's been more of a lesson on what not to do. So I like to think of us as the opposite of it because of the incentive. So we just have different incentives than the normal dating app. So it's a little known fact that Match.com owns most of the dating apps in the space. So there is somewhat of a monopoly. So if there's a monopoly, they're likely to innovate.
Yeah.
But the incentives behind a dating app, I think, are wrong. So first off, there are three main problems. The first is the top 5% of users get access to pretty much everyone on the app. This creates a skewed marketplace. The second is it's hot or not. Like on Tinder, it's like, are they good looking? Yes or no, swipe left, swipe right based on that.
Yeah.
And the third is like the literal incentive. Because if Tinder were to match a happy couple, what does this mean? It means that the happy couple likely leaves the Tinder app, and then Tinder loses a paying customer. So their incentive is actually to keep people on the Ferris wheel in a term called churn marketing. So that's like down the app, delete the app, down the app, delete the app. Whereas what dating is, it's completely different. So our intention is to match people and put them into position to succeed. So what we do is we auto-generate dating profiles based on your digital footprint and then create matches based on the other's digital footprint. So let's say you were to create a account on dating, you would connect like your photos, your Pinterest, your Twitter, your whatever you want. You would chat with Cupid, it would talk to you, it would tell you you tell it about yourself, what you're looking for. And then on the back end, you get a bunch of tags that would update. So it'd be like a point 0.8 into biking, point 0.6 into reading, point 0.9, this guy loves Mexican food for whatever reason. And then based on those tags and an algorithm, it generates matches with your compatible partner. So like, okay, he's point 0.8 into biking, she's point 0.7 into running. That's a match. You get some sort of score from that, and then it matches you with the people you're likely to succeed with based on that algorithm. And the cool thing is, after the match is made, it can switch to a relationship butler. So let's say you're on that match, you meet a girlfriend, you meet a wife, whatever, you're in Cupid. You can ask it, okay, well, where should we go on this date? And it knows both of you pretty well, so it can give a suggestion and be like, oh, your anniversary is coming up. You always miss this. She just added this thing on her Pinterest board. It could be a good gift. Or she just started listening to this person on Apple Music a lot. Maybe go to this concert. Or it's like, and its cool thing is it can even give it relationship advice too, because what dating is, it's a layer two on top of ChatGPT. So whatever benefits ChatGPT gets, we get on top of that, but we're a more personalized layer because of all the data. And the cool thing is it solves a pretty big issue from ChatGPT that I've seen. And the issue is little known, but ChatGPT is essentially a mirror for yourself. So like I've seen people ask relationship advice from ChatGPT. It's like, oh, here's a screenshot. What does it mean? How to respond? It's giving you a really good response based on what it knows about you because it's missing the
Yeah.
context on the other person. Whereas dating, it'll give that response based on your context, your digital footprint, as well as the other person. So it's more accurate in that sense. So it's a dating app, but long term, honestly, dude, it can be a full on connecting app. Like we could do it if we're ever in the same city. It's like, let's say we're both visiting Vegas, or
Yeah.
let's say we're both in Vegas. Like, oh, I'm meeting Joe.
Yeah.
Because you can match with friends and stuff. Like, what should me and Joe do? And like, oh, you guys should try this. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Thanks, keep it.
Yeah. That's interesting. So with all these other apps, it's kind of like once you've met your person, you don't have any reason to get into it. But this seems like a long-term commitment. This seems like a more embedded kind of part of your diet on your phone, so to speak.
Correct. So it's like, people are getting more and more dependent on ChatGPT. Like
Yeah.
people are like on their phone, they're getting more and more used to just having it help out. Dating can help with your personal life. So long term, obviously, we're getting the matching down. And the cool thing is the app is always improving. So like you mentioned, like taking what's best from other apps, yeah, that's great and all. But the cool thing is like every single second of every single day. So every time someone downloads the app, connects data, every time someone chats with the app, every time a new user joins, the app itself gets smarter and smarter. So it's getting better and better at matchmaking. Because if you think about AI, it's really good at analyzing large sets of data
Yeah.
and recognizing patterns in that data that me and you would miss. So, for example, the more I talk with Cupid, the more it knows me, the better it gets at matching me. So, the more likely I'm to find a suitable match, just the more we interact. So, that's a plus. So, it's learning about me, but at the same time, it's learning about you. It's learning about the thousand other users at the same time. So, it's picking up on patterns between me, you, and all those other users. And like, you never know. Let's say, for example, you're wearing a black shirt. And obviously, there's just like a random example that doesn't really apply. I don't know. But like, let's say you're wearing a black shirt. It's like, oh, this guy's wearing a black shirt. He likes to wear black shirts. People who wear black shirts for whatever reason pretty much always are compatible with people like who like pizza. And like, that wouldn't make sense to me and you because we're like, well, how does that even relate? But then it's like, okay, well, the proof is in the pudding because all these people like pizza and all these people wear black shirts seem to get good matches.
That's interesting. So the one thing, and that's interesting about AI, is that AI, when I ask people about the dangers of it, how it could go south, a lot of people, one of the best explanations I got is that it mimics us. It mimics our behaviors and who we are as people, what we feed into it. But it is like a human too, like you said. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. It's almost a human-like kind of a thing, AI is.
Correct. And honestly, that's because AI for me is just like any other technology. At its core, it's a neutral technology. Like, I have this fancy little kunai because I like Asian samurai stuff.
Yeah,
That itself is a neutral technology. I can use that to cut a pizza for my friends. That's a good use, or I can use it to commit a crime. That's a bad use. The kunai itself is not the thing that's committing it. It's
yeah,
me, the builder, who's using it. So I think AI is going to be good. And this goes back to our earlier conversation. I think AI is over going to be good because the overall number of builders who are building in the AI space are good people trying to help the world.
yeah,
Despite that, likely in the future, the bad ones are going to get all the press, all the headlines, and the people using AI, the people who AI is learning off of, like I said, like we said earlier, most people are genuinely just good people trying to live their lives. And if those are the most people using the AI, then that's AI is going to be overall helpful for us. And for Cupid AI specifically, when we were at the base of the programming and learning and all that stuff, we did program a lot of the ancient texts into its base core. So it is designed to help. And then it got that base plus the other founders kind of as its core. And then it's learning from users as it goes along. So it did start off with that good. It was intentioned to start off with a good base because we're like, wait, we
yeah.
don't want this thing to go crazy. And like, hey, well, I'm just kind of start being, yeah. Because it was funny. Like when we were first building it, it was going crazy. Like it was just like, I remember one time I was talking and I just started speaking like a Jamaican accent because it's the avatar is like a cute little baby Cupid thing with like an arrow.
Yeah.
And then one time I was like, hey man, hey brother. I'm just like, what are you doing?
That's funny. So let me ask you this. Before you rolled it out, did you have a group of like beta? How does it work when you roll out an intense app like this that has so much to it? Do you have a focus group? How do you get to a point from the development and having it to making sure that it's going to work for human beings?
Yeah, so honestly, it's a constant stage of reader. It's a constant thing of reiteration. It's just constantly making it better. What we did, our specific strategy was to launch a wait list and then selectively bring in people from the wait list. So it went first core team, matching around, testing that out, then friends and family, and then a lot of our members are like a bunch of like me personally, I'm in a bunch of like entrepreneurship, tech groups, and all that stuff. And they were the core base for our beta testers because like they weren't directly within the Like they're not part of the core team, they're not friends and family, just doing it for shits and giggles. But they do understand how to give feedback, that it's not perfect and all that stuff. So that was our core base. After that, we started bringing more people on the wait list. And once we were ready, we worked with college students. So we partnered with Ascend Consulting. And what they did is they connected with us with a group of like 20 college students from our school is Boston University. And we had weekly meetings with them. They tested it. They talked about their friends. They gave us a lot of feedback on that. And that was invaluable. And on top of that, we're getting constant feedback from our current user base. So like we have a chat system. It's like, hey, what do you think we should do to build out the app better for you? And then they give tons of suggestions, which is actually really helpful. Like, for example, we're building out the friend suggestion. Like one of our highest requested things was if you have a current partner, I don't want to use that because I don't want to be on a dating app. That, and we're like, oh, that
Yeah.
makes sense. But so we made it so you can now connect with someone individually via phone number. So me and you could connect as friends, but like let's say you have a wife or girlfriend or whatever, you can connect with your girlfriend and get all the benefits from that, and then remove yourself from the dating pool so no one else. So neither no you guys aren't shown to any other people. That was completely a customer feedback suggestions. So we're always getting customer feedback.
Yeah.
And once the time goes right, something I really want to do, we have the right people who are about to push the app all across like Twitter. So we're going to permeate culture up. We're working with this Ayala girl, and something I like to do is I like to get into Reddit stuff. So like roast me type platforms. It's just like, and then they go pretty hard on it. But that's
Yeah.
actually a pretty excellent source because if you've been on Reddit, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, they love to do that stuff. So that's been
Yeah.
funny.
So have you had any success stories so far? Anything that testimonials that have come?
So our 0 to 1 moment is so my long-term vision, I think human relationships are really important for human happiness, and dating apps and social media push us in the opposite direction. And I think it's better, honestly, to meet people in person just because you vibe well. But if people are online, we give them a alternative source to do that. So if we're able to match people who organically match but just wouldn't meet in the real world for whatever reason, because people are kind of more isolated, and they have a family and it's a good family, that just kind of flips us, that creates a positive lifeline. So we've had people match, we've had people go on dates, and we've had people enjoy the app. We're kind of analyzing user behavior. So we've had people go on dates. That's the farthest we've gotten. And then we've seen them interact with the app after use the features to suggest other dates. The farthest we've seen is one couple, I think it's two right now, actually. They matched and they removed each other from, like, they turned off each other from the match pool so they're not getting shown to anyone. So we think that they're actually kind of trying to seriously date, which is, I think, a success story. My success story is when a family gets married and has a kid from 0 to 1 from that. So that's my goal. And when we get that, I'll be pretty happy.
So how can people get involved? Any of the logistics of this so people can go out there and download it and get involved?
Yeah, so right now it's live on the App Store. So all you have to do is search DATAING.io. We love the name, but it is kind of hard to find since all the other apps come up. So you may have to scroll a bit, or you can check out our Instagram or website, and then you can download it from there. So we're live on the App Store, and we're presently building out the Android. It's not that Android users aren't important. It's just honestly for our demographic, like 85% of people have iPhones. So it makes
Yeah.
sense to build that first.
Yeah. So I will put all of that in the show notes. It's so great to reconvene. Thank you so much for opening up. Best of luck with the release of it. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no, thanks, Joe. And of course, if you crush the podcast, so it's always nice to see you again.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Hello, friends. Joe Dimino here. I just wanted to let you know that after 30 years or so, I have finally released my first book of poetry through the mighty Spartan Press here in Kansas City, Missouri. As the creator and host of both Neon Jazz Radio and the famous Interviews with Joe Dimino podcast, along with being a visual artist, I'm ready to embark on a new adventure and want you to be a part of it. You can get a copy online via Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and actually on the streets in Kansas City at the great Prospero's bookstore off 39th Street. You can also visit joedimino.com for links to the book, to more poetry, and everything in my world, including paintings. Thanks for all of the love and support over the years, and please dig the words.